everybody. My name is Jeremy Porter, and to my right is Angelia Ruff with CANI Property Management, and she's here to ask us a very important question that doesn't have to do with anything about my pajama top that I'm wearing this morning.
It's not pajamas. That has buttons. This is
Buttons,
a polo. I don't know
polo,
what he's talking about right now. It's not pajamas. It's not pajamas. Okay. The
threw her
question,
off. Go
the
ahead.
real
Question.
question here is, can tenant screening potentially solve 99% of problems? Do we think that's the end all crystal ball?
Unfortunately, it's not. It helps, right? That's the first step, the first stage. We like for example in our business, we pre-screen. So before a person even goes out and looks at the property, we ask them several pre-screening questions. One is being, how much do you make? We look for 3 times the amount of rent. So if they make $6,000 a month, the most that they could qualify is for a $2,000 a month rental, right? Um, Another thing we ask them is if they're in the process of an eviction or a bankruptcy or anything like that. Uh, Bankruptcy obviously is a huge determining factor, but the credit score doesn't tell the whole story. So, you know,
Okay. Well, what
yes.
other tenant screening can someone do?
Well, again, our process is we do a credit check, a background check, and an eviction check. So we check all the things. So I had a friend of mine named Randy who was evicting a tenant from his property. He used a, a company to advertise and for free, advertise and screen the tenant. I think it was like 30 bucks for the screening. They did not pull an eviction check. And when he went to evict them, the attorney that he hired said, "Why did you accept somebody with 3 evictions on their record?" And he goes, "What? I went through this screening, this online screening thing, and they didn't say, well, they just did a credit check. Apparently, they did not do an eviction check as well." So here at Canal Property Management, we look at all the factors, right? I always say to people, because they say, well, what's your minimum credit score? And we look for a 550 minimum credit score, but that still doesn't tell the whole story because they say, oh, that's super low. And I say, well, what if we have this situation? We have a doctor and he makes $400,000 a year and his wife was cheating on him and taking all of the money from his paychecks and saying she was paying the bills and saying she was paying the mortgage and everything like that, but she wasn't paying any of it. And by the time he found out about it, the house is in foreclosure. It's too late to save it. She took the money and ran off with the other man, and he's stuck. And now he needs to rent, and now he needs to find a place. Provided that we could get documentation, we could look at his credit profile before all of this happened and see that the divorce paperwork and everything like that, we can verify his backstory. Would that be a tenant you would be willing to accept? And most people tell me, yes, that seems perfectly reasonable. Of course I would take. And let's say the person has a 506 credit score, you know?
So let's take this spin a little different.
Hmm.
So clearly there's fair housing laws,
Right.
right? Okay, and there's only so much criteria you can use when selecting a tenant. Let's say someone's self-managing
Hmm.
and they decide they want to do their own tenant screening.
Hmm.
And they're going to Facebook stalk these people and Instagram stalk these people, and they find their TikTok.
Oh,
And there's all these things that they learn about this tenant, and now they're making socioeconomic decisions about rejecting or accepting a tenant. Thoughts?
well, the bottom line is you could be in trouble with fair housing if you don't have a clear definition of a tenant that you will accept, right? So if your idea is I'm going to Facebook stalk, TikTok stalk, social media stalk this person to figure out exactly what type of person I'm going to put in my rental, you might end up with a fair housing lawsuit on your hands. Now, you might think that you're protected from this because you don't hold a real estate license, but that is unfortunately not true. You are still up for review. Those laws are still
Applicable.
applicable, thank you,
Yes.
in play, if you will, because you are renting residential housing.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. I just thought I'd throw that in there because I think when I talk to doing business development for a company and I talk to potential, I'm thinking about renting my home. I've never done this before. I'm going to buy something else and I want to rent the home that I'm in right now. And well, have you considered using a property manager? And no, no, no. Well, what are you going to do for tenant selection? I'm going to Facebook stalk them. So I just thought I'd throw that question out there because it's happening. I would say in this situation, I would say tenant beware, potential tenant beware on those situations. And then also future investors, if this isn't something you've done before, you know, connect with a
educate yourself.
professional, educate yourself, and protect yourself. So that's it. So until next time.